Alberta, in Edmonton, Canada. I've started at this school since its inception. It's our third year and we've made steady progress. I welcome all the students who are participants in this webinar. Along with me are my colleagues. I have Professor DTV Raghu Ramaswamy, who is the Director of School of Infrastructure as well as Director of our Research and Institutional Consulting group. He is a mechanical engineer with an MBA. He has worked extensively in the infrastructure sector. His last position was as a CEO of a company called IDEC, which is a large infrastructure consulting firm in Bangalore, very well known, promoted by IDFC and state of Karnataka. Alongside us is our colleague, Professor Anjula Negi. She is the Associate Director of Research, Program Director of School of Infrastructure Management. She has a long experience in the area of infrastructure. She has consulted and done a lot of work on Indian infrastructure projects through ADB and through the Government of India. What we have planned for you is a brief presentation that connects with the ongoing themes in the country, both on smart cities and housing for all. I request my colleague Professor Raghu to give that quick presentation so that we can set the stage.
Good afternoon. My name is Raghu. I am the Director for School of Infrastructure and also the Head of Research and Consulting for RSCS School of Built Environment. So all of you must have heard about the current theme which is in the market, which the Prime Minister has recently launched, the theme about smart cities. When we mean smart cities are the entire built environment, which includes IT, includes various elements which are required for the infrastructure and the construction industry. The way it's promised is that India will have about 100 smart cities in the coming few years, but it needs a large amount of talent in terms of smart managers which are required to manage this. So we'll quickly give you an overview of what is the what kind of talent is required for the sector and what kind of opportunities are there for someone who does a management program and who can work in this particular field. If you can see the future, the way India is going ahead, it will have a lot of activities which are built across the sector in terms of infrastructure, in terms of construction. On your screen, you can see the various activities. Give us a second. Okay, if you notice on this screen, this is the entire education program and the entire the career opportunities of all the students going forward are going to be influenced quite a lot by the built environment. We are going to have the world which is going to be connected completely of various elements, and we need to begin to tune ourselves to meet that kind of requirements. India as a country needs lots of investments, lots of requirements in construction as well as infrastructure. The sector itself as infrastructure needs investments in the building assets of telecom, energy, water. If you can see the amount of investment which is there, and $1 billion of investments over the next 5 years. There's a huge population which is trying to be reaching that level of investments which we need. Go to the next slide. Smarts is a theme which Government of India has recently launched. If you have already noticed, India looks at about 100 cities which we want in smart. But what we mean by smart cities, this is a theme which all of us are trying to formulate in various institutions, and academic institutions play a big role in this. It comprises 4 or 5 elements. What it has is kind of a complete city model in terms of the entire city infrastructure, the water supply, the roads, the transport, the electricity, etc. This is the as-built environment. When we mean as-built, the construction and the physical space which is there. This is superimposed with some kind of a technology aspects, the smart technology actions. And a lot of you, I can notice that you are using mobile applications to access this particular webinar. Going forward, most of the services in the cities are going to be delivered using mobile devices. That's where the smart technologies will come in. There are a lot of smart institutional structures, which are the governance and the institutional arrangements which are required, like a municipal authority or a mayors. They are going to use the structures which are enabled by smart technologies. Financing is a key requirement which will be there. The financing portion of that also needs to be coming from that. The smart financing options are there. The second big theme which Government of India is currently looking at is the housing for all. There's a severe shortage of housing all over the country, especially in the urban space. The current housing statistics released by National Statistical Sample Organization or the census shows a huge gap in terms of what is required and what is available. This current slide shows the growth which is happening in the urban sector. India is rapidly urbanizing. Once it is urbanizing, there's a lot of migration which is happening. There's a natural growth is happening. A lot of people are aspiring for a better and better houses. This inclusion of new areas will need a lot of housing. So housing also will, is a big theme which is there, and government is aiming towards switching for a housing for everyone in a short while to come. So our programs are kind of tuned towards these current themes. As a school, RSCS, School of Built Environment, we believe in working very closely with the industry. We believe in working in the current themes which are available, and we try and train our managers as in themes which are as relevant as possible. So you have seen two programs there. One is the program on infrastructure management. The second one is the program on construction economics and quantity surveying. These we think are very relevant currently to the themes which are currently talked about on the smart cities as well as the housing for all. The MBA in infrastructure management offers this sector, all sector comprising all sectors, comprising the project life cycle. When I mean a project, the infrastructure will typically include a road or a power or a transport or a urban sector. We start from explaining what is the project need itself, how do you design a project, how do you construct a project, how do you finance a project, how do you go about looking at the management of the project. So essentially the opportunities for projects lie in the entire realm. The opportunities for managers who work in this space are broadly in 4 or 5 areas. Consulting firms to start with, a lot of consulting firms, international firms as well as Indian firms. You would have heard about PricewaterhouseCoopers, Deloitte, KPMG. Firms like that are very active in this space. There are a lot of developers like L&T, GMR, GVK who actually very actively participate in this, who are doing airports, who are doing railways, metro rails, etc. There are a lot of banking industry which is interested in this sector. The banks like IDFC, State Bank of India, Axis Bank, etc. who will be interested in looking at this. Finally, the kind of contractors who are very interested. We are having traction from international contractors such as GE, Bechtel, etc. who are all interested. The students who do in these areas kind of look for opportunities in these things. We think there's a huge promising future, and we try to offer a course which is kind of tuned towards the requirements of all the students in this particular space.
So just taking it forward from where Professor Raghu left, one of the key things that will happen as we move forward in terms of smart cities or housing, or actually just the physical infrastructure design, development and operation, one simple thing that's going to happen is a lot of money is required and a lot of money will be spent. So people who can manage this aspect of projects, especially how to budget, how to estimate, how to measure, how to control costs, anything related to money would be in great demand. And that's where our MBA in construction economics and quantity surveying fits in. QS is actually a globally understood term which is new in India in certain ways, but it's a very promising future where the experts who have CEQS or construction economics and quantity surveying specialization help infrastructure developers, help real estate developers budget, manage money, and make sure that the profits are aligned and are available for all the stakeholders. So I think this branch, which is the MBA in construction economics and quantity surveying, has a promising future. Roles are available with development firms, with construction companies, with infrastructure developers, with infrastructure contractors like EPC firms, and with professional consultants, professional services firms. So there are a number of specialized QS firms in India now, and they are in great demand, these QS professionals. We recently completed a program. This is may seem a bit out of place, but it's a story behind itself. The demand for QS professionals is so high, and the lack of availability of QS professionals in the marketplace is also quite high, that L&T has joined hands with us to create a program which will impart this quantity surveying knowledge to working professionals. So what you see here is first row of faculty members who went to Baroda just about a week ago, and we held a specialized one-year program for L&T professionals who you see in the background, 26 of them, who are now taking that QS knowledge, because L&T feels that in order to be successful in their business, they need to take the quantity surveying more seriously. We are expecting another batch. So this shows you the demand that exists in the industry for quantity surveying professionals. So with this, we'll formally close the presentation part. I hope it has given you a good idea about the two programs that we are discussing today, the MBA in Infrastructure Management and MBA in Construction Economics and Quantity Surveying. Before we jump into any questions, I request my colleague, Professor Anjula, to perhaps give a 1 or 2 minutes a background about herself or her work.
Hi everyone. Before joining RICS, I'm pretty new to this circle of academia. I was working as a professional. I've worked with the Ministry of Finance for over 6 years on deputation from ADB. Prior to that, I was working with a non-banking financial institution called ILNFS, where I have done project development and structuring as a part of the entire role which ILNFS has as a developer as well as a non-banking institution. Before that, I have been working with a lot of research-based organizations. I've also worked with NGOs. I have worked with people at the grassroots level, especially on environment-related issues. So given that background, experience in infrastructure is about 15 years plus. I have specializations in transportation sector that spans across ports, railways, airports, metro services, urban transportation like urban highways, then rural transportation like national highways. These are the projects where I have worked. In Ministry of Finance, over 500 projects I have looked at the documentation. So that experience I carry forward for RICS to be utilized in a manner which can be given an entire infrastructure arena perspective, coming from a policymaker's hub as well, which is Ministry of Finance. As per government rules, it's MOF which is supposed to do policy making bit. So we together as a core team, bring the infra experience with Professor Raghu on the panel, on the dais here. We come together to give you an infra perspective on this course on infrastructure management. So I would just like to end there and rather focus on the questions which you have raised.
Thank you, Anjula. So I request my colleague to scroll up to the first question, please, so that we can start answering. We are going to take the questions that are being shared over the chat. The first question is from Mukesh, who has done an MTech from JNTU Hyderabad in urban transportation and is asking for a suggestion on which branch to select. I'll request Professor Raghu to take that question.
I think Mukesh, probably MBA infrastructure would be most ideal for you. The infrastructure domain consists largely of transportation sectors, which your background will ideally fit in there. The transportation, while you seem to have done quite a lot in urban transportation, the MBA infrastructure program will add on to what you have done and hopefully will address the entire gamut in terms of rail, road, airports and ports. Probably that's one program we should seriously consider.
So,
let me complete this. You also raised an issue in terms of packages. As I kind of mentioned in the initial presentation, the sector is on an upswing. There are a lot of requirements which are there. There are a lot of the agencies who are looking at talent from this. So someone who actually has a very relevant experience in the sector. For infrastructure, join and direct MBA and infrastructure, joins infrastructure firm, the packages are going to be much higher. You would have seen our packages in the current year. This batch we expect that to be much higher. So I don't see a challenge in terms of packages for the programs which are being offered by RICSSB.
Wonderful. So we move on to the next question, which is by Rahul. Civil engineer, which specialization? I think as a civil engineer, both MBA IM, which is infrastructure management, and MBA in construction economics and quantity surveying would be wonderful options for you. It really depends on your interests. If you are interested in putting large projects together, then IIM would be a great choice for you. If you have that eye for detail and would love to manage costs on large and complex projects, then quantity surveying MBA would be the right choice for you. So moving on to the next question, which is by Vijay. Vijay is a BE civil engineer, is running his own developer company and would like to find out about MBA real estate. I would say go for it, Vijay. MBA RE would be the best choice for you. You have the technical foundation in your civil engineering degree. What you really need now is a background in managerial skills, especially in finance and marketing, and that's what our MBA real estate really does. So it's a simple choice. I would run and immediately go after the MBA real estate program of RICSSPE. Moving on to Abhishek. He's currently doing a BBA in last year. I'm into construction business. What can you suggest me to pursue further so that I can expand my family business with greater expertise? My recommendation here would be an MBA in real estate, which would be the best choice for you to further grow your family business. From a construction business to perhaps a development management business or a developer business essentially pertaining to buildings. So please look up and get more information on MBA in real estate and urban infrastructure program that we have. That will be the right choice for you. Next is Mayank. Mayank is a BTech civil engineer from Ajmer and would like to know about which branch. I'll request Professor Raghu to help explain what would be a right fit for Mayank.
Mayank, between the two choices you are toying, between real estate and infrastructure development, the infrastructure development area largely consists of developing projects across the city at a national level in terms of the water supplies, power, transport, etc. The real estate is on the realm of built environment, which looks after malls, construction, housing complexes, etc. If your interest lies in continuing the engineering focus a little bit, probably infrastructure development is a right option. I think you should try and evaluate what you are trying to look at and then see if you can go forward. Probably I think my recommendation would be to go for infrastructure at this stage.
Okay, actually, we may have missed some questions. Scrolled too much.
Yeah, so next is Ashish.
So Ashish is currently working with L&T as a project planning engineer in a, I guess, a power project. And his question is,
where does he go? And he has questions related down the line. It is asking only for infra civil architecture. The students who are belonging to electronics, electrical. How is working experience with INC? Is it MBA beneficial for him? Ashish, what I would like to respond is that the most graduate engineering trainees or whoever joins large construction or firms like L&T have a good scope when once they do a management program. The programs in infrastructure, of course, will fit in. Infra takes a wide range of streams which are possible, right from civil to electrical to mechanical to computer science to telecommunications. The range is quite wide, so that's one opportunity which will be there. It is not necessarily for the graduates only from civil engineering, as your question seems to suggest. I think you can look at different options which are possible. So the range of absorption in infra is quite wide. So you could probably consider looking at this, and it will be, as you have noticed, we offer specialized programs where in this stream as well, and we can probably consider that.
Okay. So next, there's a question by Suyash Bhardwaj about prerequisites to apply for MBA CPM. Prerequisites to apply for MBA CPM are essentially graduate with minimum 50%, and we give preference to civil engineering and other engineering disciplines, architecture and planning graduates because of the techno-managerial nature of the MBA CPM program. I think that prerequisite applies to our MBA CEQS as well as our MBA IM program also. So I hope that answers your question. Moving along, after that is Abhishek Jain, currently in Delhi doing his BBA. I think we answered that question.
I think, Abhishek, we've answered that question. We kind of suggested we should go back and consider the program in MBA in real estate. Probably should look at the website of RICS and then try and take it forward. Mayank had a supplementary question. I can't understand which branch is more beneficial future. Just completed civil engineering. Yes, Mayank, probably with civil engineering you should look at MBA infrastructure. That's a suggestion.
So please provide a comparison between RE, CPM and IM specialization. So
Sure.
I think maybe more than one person is needed to answer this question. I'll just give my few cents. RE pertains to essentially the real estate sector and development of real estate projects, which are building projects. These could be residential projects, these could be commercial buildings, hospitals, retail, and those kinds of projects. Construction actually connects to both RE and IM in that any real estate development needs to have a construction portion. Any infrastructure development has to have a construction portion, so that construction project management and construction economics and quantity surveying actually supports both real estate development and IM infrastructure development. That's from my point of view. I'll let Professor Raghu elaborate on that.
Just to elaborate, Rahul, the three programs kind of complement each other. If you look at a total space, the buildings, the malls, the houses are typically in the realm of real estate. So when we mean RE and urban infrastructure, the infrastructure small component refers to the infrastructure is available within a complex. If you have a big housing complex or a big mall, the water facility inside there, the power inside there, all those facilities which are inside the building comes under the RE domain. Infrastructure per se covers a national or a much larger city or a state domain. So we look at power plants, we look at roads, we look at water supply at a city or a national level. Now construction cuts across both. Every project, be it a building or an airport, will need to be constructed. The construction project management speaks of that particular construction. Whereas the RE and IM, the specializations look at non-construction, more about the board, the business of the real estate and the infrastructure. That is how these three kind of differ. But all put together is a built environment program we offer. Suyash has a supplementary question to that. How does CPM program, infrastructure program differ? We kind of just explained. Just to recapitulate, infrastructure is the business side of providing infrastructure services, whereas construction project management is construction of any particular activity, be it infrastructure or a real estate.
Next one is it good
Ashish.
to Ashish Kumar? Is it good for a
INC professional?
You want to take that?
Yeah, I think so, because as a MBA infrastructure has a opportunity for every sector. Because if you take a simple project like any project, for instance a metro, it has an opportunity for everyone: an electrical engineer, a mechanical engineer, a civil engineer, electronics communication, a computer science professional, so as economics professional. So I think it's a good option. IMC professionals also can look at MBA infrastructure, a specialized course, and industry needs this kind of people who are specializing in different streams.
Okay, so then we have Mukesh. If CPM is helpful for me, infrastructure management would help me to keep a company. If so, what kind of work will be there?
He's asked us a question on the first question. Just go back to the first question and see what is the urban transportation. Is CPM helpful for him? Anil, you want to take that?
I now lost the question. Where is
Mukesh did his MTech in urban transportation from JIT Hyderabad. He's asked what kind of options are there. Between the two, we kind of recommended that infrastructure probably is a better option. He's asking whether construction project management also is relevant.
It is relevant, but given your background, strong background in urban transportation, very few people specialize in the transportation sector who have an engineering background also. So I think perhaps MBA infrastructure management would be the right choice.
So Anjula would like to answer. You have a specialization in urban transportation.
I have a specialization in urban transportation. Now CPM would be very, very specific to construction related to say a sector which urban transportation, where are you really looking at fitting yourself into. Now in urban infrastructure you will not in urban infrastructure, urban transportation will give you a wide range within the infrastructure management regime. If you're looking at urban transportation, whether you're looking at road development, whether you're looking at metro development, or whether you're looking to be fitting only for construction project management within these subsectors of urban transportation. So for you, that is why recommendation by Professor Raghu was to do infrastructure management, where you not only get to specialize in your sector where you are in MTech, but you also get the managerial and finance sense of carrying forward an infrastructure project and further specialization in urban transportation sector. So that's what I have to add.
Next question is by Vijay. Vijay wants to know MBA real estate is a full-time or a distance learning program. All our programs, Vijay, are full-time programs based off campus at Noida.
So, which is the most sought after course?
All our courses are most sought after in that sense. Yes, we offer a different streams depending upon the nature of the students' background as well as their interest. We offer 3 streams: real estate, construction, and infrastructure management. Each of them have the space in the current economy as well as the prospects of future. We don't see a difference between the 3. All 3 are equally good. All 3 attract that industry which we are kind of targeting. All the industry feedback so far has been excellent for all 3 courses. I think you should pick up something which meets your interest and what probably meets your background.
So next question is how this course is different from NICMAR. Our programs are full-time MBA programs. They give you an MBA degree, be it construction project management, real estate, infrastructure management, or be it infrastructure management. These are full-time 2-year degree programs under the UGC AICTE framework, and they are also accredited by RICS, and currently some of our programs are under consideration for accreditation by PMI. So those are the salient features for our programs, and as you all know, the NICMAR's programs are slightly different from our programs.
Rahul had a supplementary question: differentiate between REUA and IM. Rahul, just to repeat again, real estate MBA looks at buildings and the real estate portion of residential, commercial complexes, like a malls, like a housing complex, etc. The infrastructure management program is specialized across cities. The services which are provided for a much larger domain than just a building. So the difference essentially is the infrastructure outside the building or inside the building, or is within a campus, infrastructure is outside the campus. And that's very loosely put, but the focus and the courses are designed completely differently. The overlap will be very common subjects, which are the MBA basic subjects. Otherwise, the specializations are completely different.
So the next question relates to which branch of MBA in real estate should I choose to expand my family business of construction? I think if you have a BBA, undergrad is BBA, then the most preferred program should be MBA in real estate, because that's where you will understand how a real estate development process takes place, what kind of financing, what kind of land related issues, what kind of legal issues are involved in designing and delivering and operating a real estate asset. So the MBA real estate would give you that understanding and would help you grow your business. So Abhishek, that would be the right choice for you. Then Mayank, to doing my MBA from real estate and infrastructure management, the type of work is on construction site or in office. Both MBA real estate or an MBA in infrastructure management will provide you with an opportunity for site visits, but essentially the work may be centered around a regional or a corporate office where you will be putting together all aspects of the RE project or the infrastructure project that you're involved in. Maybe Professor Raghu can add to that a bit.
See, the infrastructure projects has a multiple type of specializations within that. There will be finance streams which will largely corporate headquartered in a bigger metros. There will be commercial activities which again will be in the headquarters. There will be project development activities which we would need to supervise to that extent. There will be some site visits and some work on the site will be there. For instance, a port is being constructed while the head office may be in Delhi or Bombay. You still need to go to a coastal area to see what's happening on the site. So to that extent, some amount of work is there in the site, but largely the management programs are centered out of the corporate headquarters or the bigger cities and offices, not necessarily site. Okay, that's how it normally works. The same system applies to real estate as well, where the site visits are related to check the progress of the project and see what actually is happening on the ground. But essentially, the management decisions are taken out of the head office.
So moving along to the next question, is it desirable to join MBA program right after graduation? This is actually a personal choice. We have a large body of students with diverse backgrounds and career aspirations. We have one MBA student who has 29 years of construction experience right now in the construction program, and a large number of our students are also freshers. So it's really up to you to, based on your interest, to make a decision whether you want to do right away or wait a couple of years with experience. Obviously, with experience, you have a better understanding of the industry and you're able to better understand the concepts and practices that are discussed in the class. So largely it's a personal choice, but both we see both types of students in our classrooms. Mukesh has the next question, which I request Professor Raghu to answer because it relates to MBA in infrastructure management and salary expectations.
Mukesh, the salary industries are going ahead. While we cannot really guess what's happening in the future, what you can try and look at the experience of a batch which has just passed out. It's 6.7 lakhs average with a top end salary touching 14 lakhs. So this is for this current year. The batch of infrastructure management which joins now will pass out 2 years down the line. We don't see a challenge in terms of the growth and the salary packages because there's a growing field and a lot of requirements are there. It will be much better. So when there is no clear answer for what number is expected, I can only say that the prospects are very, very good.
Okay, the next question is from Rahul, who is asking about the specialization. Rahul, the way our MBA programs work is that we have 3 streams. We have infrastructure management, we have real estate, and we have construction. You have to make a decision at the time of admission to enter into a stream. The only place where you're allowed to transfer within a stream is the construction stream. You can do the first semester, let's say in MBA construction economics and quantity surveying, and then based on some reason and approval of the school, you can shift to the MBA in construction project management or vice versa. But other than that, these 3 streams are pretty much running separately, even though we share a lot of subjects and there is a lot of overlap, but the admission is program specific and you're not allowed to transfer between these programs other than that construction project management and construction economics and quantity surveying switch, which you are allowed after semester 1.
So essentially you need to decide now when you are applying which stream you want to join.
Next question is also from Rahul about MRICS. Since our degree programs are RICS accredited, you are eligible to become MRICS members. So after graduating from our programs, you undertake a process called APC, which is essentially assessment of professional competence. That APC process takes 2 years to complete, and based on that only the decision to be an MRICS member is taken. But yes, you are eligible because our programs are RICS accredited. So as soon as you graduate, you have the option of becoming a trainee member of RICS. Raghu, do you want to take the next question?
On the salary packages, what was the student strength? The strength which passed out is about 80, close to 90. 90 students passed out as the first batch, and then the average package was 6.7 lakhs, and the top end package was touching 14 lakhs. The lower end package probably was closer to 5.5. Yes. I think that's the offer we have got in the passing out batch.
And our placement report is available online. I'll request my colleague to send you a link to our placement report, which gives out all the details not only in terms of numbers, but also provides details of the nature of companies that came and placed our students. So that is a pretty impressive list for our program. Please make sure that you review the placement report that is available online. You will be receiving a link shortly through the chat mechanism.
Will there be a preferential treatment during placements of freshers and experienced students? So these choices of placements normally are whom to pick, how to pick, depends upon the organization. As a school, we support the placement process. We offer opportunities for both freshers as well as the experienced students. The program is taught equally to everyone, so to that extent there is no differentiation when the student goes for a placement interview, but the actual choice depends upon the organization. Some organizations do mention that they would need prior experience, some organizations don't, so that depends on the specific organization who is looking at that. But no, in essential there will not be special preferential treatment from the school side.
The next question relates to, is by Waqas, who's a mechanical engineering graduate 2013, does not have industrial experience and is interested in knowing which branch. I think both construction economics and quantity surveying and infrastructure management branches would be good options for you because of your engineering background.
We don't necessarily ask for industrial experience when we look at students for our admission to our MBA programs.
Next question relates to bank loans, and all is arranged through the Amity system. There is a very good support system for that. You can contact our admission counselors and they'll provide you with all the details. So no, Waqas, you don't have to do any running around. Next question is by Mukesh. Can you explain what kind of work I am going to do after completion of infrastructure management? So Raghu.
Mukesh, there are four streams of possibilities, at least four streams of possibilities which are there. One, someone does an MBA in infrastructure management. One role goes towards a developer community, which is the names like GMR, L&T, people like that, who develop projects from concept to commissioning. They configure a project and they go and look at that. That's the kind of commercial activities which they will do. Second line of function is on the financing side. All the banks like a State Bank of India or IDFC or a Axis Bank or ICICI look for managers who can come and appraise projects. So that's one opportunity which will be there. And so does a lot of private equity investors who are currently looking at market and infrastructure. Yes, that's one stream. The third stream will be extremely strong stream again is the consulting world. Your PricewaterhouseCoopers, Deloitte, ENYs, KPMGs, CRISIL, IDFC, IR&FS kind of agencies who are looking for candidates who have understanding of infrastructure sector. That's one area which will be there. The emerging sectors such as the contractors who does a specific EPC kind of jobs, they do end-to-end solutions and projects. And there are a lot of multilateral banks like Asian Development Bank, World Bank, or agencies like policy think tanks look at various options. So that's one stream. So essentially there are four streams which will go in. There will be opportunistically other streams also are available.
The timings for our classes that are held in the Amity Noida campus are 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, with sometimes we may have special sessions on Saturday. So that's a typical 15-week semester that we hold for our classes. Looks like we have caught up on most of the questions so far. I do see some people still typing. There's a new question that has come from Waqas. Is placement activities separate from placement
of Amity Noida?
Yes, so the school has a separate placement cell which is very heavily connected and well connected to the construction sector, the infrastructure sector and the real estate sector in India and Middle East. And so we run our placement process separately and you can see all those details again on the placement report, for the link for which has been just shared with you by my colleague Mr. Bharat Tang.
The placement is not shared between Amity and RACS. Both run two independent placement programs and we run our program.
After doing MBA and CPM, do I have the opportunity to work in infrastructure sector apart from project management? Technically the answer is yes. You would have the option to work on infrastructure projects, yes, there's no doubt about that. But will you be able to work in the infrastructure domain, maybe in the financing aspects, maybe in structuring of deals, and in the overall development process? Probably not that easy to jump into that framework. So essentially you could take on the construction role or the EPC role on a large infrastructure project. So yes, technically you could work in the infrastructure sector, but if you really want to participate in the development process of an infrastructure project, MBA IM would be the right choice. Do you agree, Raghu?
Yeah, I think that's correct, because the construction, after doing a MBA in construction project management and working for infrastructure firm, your space of activities is limited to the construction and operations, whereas the opportunities in financing and the development and the structuring kind of opportunity will be very, very limited.
Next question relates to group discussion. Can we arrange Skype GD? A physical presence at the admission location in MET Noida is required, so I am afraid if you're asking about the admission process, that cannot be done. But if you're asking for a Skype session to explain more about our programs, yes, that is possible. I've completed my BTech Civil, a fresher, have a good to have a good industrial knowledge before joining. What should I do before MBA in RICS? I would say join MBA at RICS immediately, learn, and then through your internship and through your placements, you will continue to grow.
Srikanth, the answer is no. You don't need to have an industrial experience to join an MBA program. While the Indian MBAs, most of the people are freshers who pass out of the program and come in. A lot of engineers join MBA programs, and which is there. So is our profile, have a heavy tilt towards freshers who are there. While we do have experienced professionals, the understanding and the experiences may be different for both of them. The courses are designed to bring both the students on par, so I don't see any challenge in not having experience. Yes, the choice could be, if you are contemplating continuing your education immediately, join an MBA. But in case you, is a personal choice, you decide to go for a job and work for some years and come back, you are more than welcome. But yes, if you had to choose between joining now or not, joining now also is not a bad option. You will not lose out too much.
So Raghu, could you help Suyash again with his answer? Apparently there were some connectivity issues. He's a civil engineer, would like to know whether IM or a construction MBA. So if you could help him.
Suyash, after doing a engineering program, again IM and CPM both will have opportunities. Infrastructure, if you are interested in looking at developing projects, looking in the areas of finance, you're looking at areas of contract management, on the structuring of projects, working with consulting firms, you have aspirations such in those lines, probably MBA IM is a better bet. But if you're looking at working more on the projects per se, in the construction side of it, or in the operation side of it, probably you should look at a MBA CPM. Does it answer? I mean, is there
I think so. So next question is from Vakas. During internship, minimum, maximum stipend paid. It varies quite a bit across companies, because we work with large companies, and large companies have nationwide internship programs, very well structured, without much flexibility in terms of what they do with our students. We have known cases of internship minimum 0 to maximum, in my knowledge, about 40,000 rupees a month. So I don't think an internship is really focusing on the stipend. It's basically more to do with learning, because you're required to interact with the industry, your industry guide, your faculty guide, produce a report at the end of the 8-week summer internship. So yes, there is some help available, but the primary goal is learning while you're on a construction site or in an infrastructure company's office or a developer's, real estate developer's office. So I hope that answers Vakas's question. Next is Rahul. What kind of soft skills are imparted? Faculty assistance for internship and MBA final report. We have a very strong program that takes care of soft skills. We have every semester 2 subjects that deal with business communication as well as behavioral skills for students that are targeted towards workplace environment. So these will help you prepare for your interviews. There is a lot of assistance available for internships and final placements. We hold mock interviews, we hold boot camps, and many other activities for our students. And obviously, the last semester, there is a final report, which we actually call a capstone project. Heavy emphasis is placed on that, and you will be provided with a faculty guide will help prepare that MBA final report. So Rahul, I hope that answers your question. Next is Siddharth. After an MBA in CPM, which are the sectors in which we can explore? So an MBA in CPM, as we have been reiterating during this discussion, has a choice of entering the real estate domain. So you could be actually building buildings, or you could be constructing infrastructure projects. So the nature of work that is available to you would be with a construction company that is involved in either building buildings or is involved in constructing infrastructure projects. You could, after some experience, work with an infrastructure development firm or a real estate development firm. You could work for an IPC or for a large consulting firm, because you would have project management skills which are required to design, deliver, and operate a large real estate as well as large and complex infrastructure projects. Mukesh is talking about salaries. I'll let Professor Raghu, since he answered the original question, to help answer this one.
Mukesh, the question is not very clear. You are saying that you said average CTC is 6.7. What is a basic line of salary? Your question is not very clear. If you are referring to the split of the salary in terms of what components are there, normally companies do offer an overall package which includes everything in terms of cost to company basis, and that's the current trend in Indian market to offer that kind of number. So the 6.7 average out across all the placements what we have got in our students what we have seen. So I'm not sure if that is a question, or you can elaborate the question, probably we can answer again.
The next question is from Mayank. Which type of questions asked in written exam? Which type of questions asked in written exam? I assume you're talking about the admission exam, during the entrance exam. So the questions asked are pretty much on your standardized tests like the MAT pattern. That's how the questions are framed by MET admission.
Vakas has a question on what study tools are arranged to what extent. See, as we have seen, RSCS School of Built Environment is very closely linked with the industry. There will be continuous interaction with the industry in terms of projects, in terms of activities, in terms of exchange programs with other units. So there are a lot of activities which are there in terms of specific study tools. Elsewhere, yes, we do offer.
So we offer both. During semester, there are a lot of site visits. We do those site visits in order to ensure that students understand. And then there is this summer program called the REACH program, which is an international program designed by a person who's associated with the school, Mr. Keith McKinnell, who's in Hong Kong. That's a 6 Asian city program in which students, it's an optional program where students can go on a traveling studio to 6 Asian cities, including Hong Kong, Tokyo, Singapore, Beijing, Shanghai, and Seoul. So, and look at various RE or real estate and infrastructure projects. So it's an amazing experience, and a number of students have availed that optional study tour and have gone on this REACH program. If someone doesn't get placed, yes, there is assistance available. We have 100% placement record, so I think placement will not be an issue for the right students performing in the right fashion in their programs.
We have not faced a situation where student is not placed, so I don't see a challenge there. I think we hope that all the students will be placed in the program. Okay, CAT and MAT both, yes, I think what we are looking at is a 500 plus in in MAT, and 75% percentile in CAT. So if that is there, there's no entrance test.
So you come for a group discussion and an interview in that case.
Mukesh, question is, what is the least package in IMs? As I said, Mukesh, the course is starting on the placement and the packages. What you're seeing in the website refers to MBA in real estate and construction managed programs. So infrastructure is just starting off. But we expect that the salary packages across the three streams to increase in the coming years.
So Vikas, we answered your question. If you have a valid MAT CAT score as specified by Professor Raghu, you do not have to appear in an entrance exam. Batch strength, if you could, Vikas, please specify which program you're talking about. We'll take that question once you put in which actual program you're talking about. Then question from Mayank. The questions is from civil engineering, general question. I am civil background. Questions are MAT pattern questions. So these are general aptitude questions, English, math, which are standard, and you can prepare those.
Normally, the subject-specific questions are asked in interviews depending on the background of the student.
Then we have a question: is the
reach program piece included in the year category?
No, it's a separate optional program. We do offer scholarships which cover part of the cost of the REACH program, but this is an optional program that students have to pay themselves for if they are interested in going there. How can we opt for studying one semester abroad at University of Salford? University of Salford has its own admission criteria, which has minimum percentage marks required. There is no GRE requirement as such, but there is a standard requirement for a UK university, including English language, basic 10+2 marks, and your marks in the undergrad degree. The third semester for MBA students would be at the University of Salford if they are so selected to do. Study tour, you have to pay extra. We answered that. Which branch has high packages compared to CPM, RE, IM? Again, this is a question that
see, it depends upon the need and the requirement at that point of time. There is no particular theme. We don't expect that these streams are differentiated by any of the developers or the organizations who are coming to visit our campuses. What we are seeing in CPM and RE, the batch which has passed out, the offers are more or less similar. I don't see a big challenge. So even IM, it will be, we expect that most of the streams will be there. It all depends upon the candidate's performance and the organization requirement at that point of time. Infrastructure batch strength, we are hoping that will be around 25 students. So that's the first batch we are starting, and that's the range numbers we are looking at.
The REACH program has two fee components. There is a fee for joining the program, which is about 1,600 or 1,500 USD. In addition to that, you'll have to arrange for your airfare, your local transportation, hosting, boarding, lodging. I'm told that may work out to be about 5,000 to 6,000 USD given air ticket prices. The scholarship given to REACH program, which is based on your academic performance and other criteria, is very limited. It basically helps you cover the fee for the program. A portion, about 1,000 to 1,250 USD, is given as in lieu of the to cover your program fee for the REACH program. So we'll take 2 or 3 more questions. I see that there are already one question has come. Sir, should I join in CPM as I am fresher? Yes, you should. I assume you're a civil engineer. A fresher is eligible to apply. Look at MBA in construction economics and quantity surveying. Yes, you can join MBA CPM also, but that is a tight race. So just to further help you understand, Srikant, the last date to apply, I'm told, is 16th July, which happens to be today. So you have 2 minutes still before 5 p.m. So run, apply. 20th July would be the admission date. So you have to manage your time very well and get going with this. Since there are no other questions, maybe we'll wait for another minute or two. And we'll be happy to answer any remaining questions.
Mukesh has a question. When can I expect next batch for IM? The batch is starting now, Mukesh. The admissions are on. So you can apply for the course, and the last date is for the next round of interviews is today. So if you apply for today, there's a 20th. There's an entrance test. The course commences on 21st, and the commencement date of the program, academic program, may be around 27th of this month.
So I think since there are no further questions, I'd like to close this session. I'd first like to thank my colleagues, Professor Raghu and Professor Anjula, for being here and for giving wonderful guidance to potential applicants. Thank you very much on behalf of RICS SBE. I'd like to thank all the participants who were here. We are available to answer your questions. If you have any, please get in touch with our admission counselors. If you have any technical questions, feel free to get in touch with us also, and we'll be happy to help you along the way. So looking forward to seeing some of you next week. Thank you very much. With this, we will close.
What is the next webinar?
Bharat sir, see personal message. There's something. Next webinar there's no plan right now, but we may email you for any next webinar if it is coming.
You can post his email ID over here.
Okay, Izaz, actually you should post your email ID, and then we will see how we can take it forward. As of now, there's no plan for next webinar, but depending on the
Srikanth has sent you a personal message.
Yeah.
Bharat? Yeah, please send your questions to ricsSBE@rics.org, and we will immediately send you all the answers. There is an email which I'm asking my admission colleague, Ijaz has given his email. Kindly take that and provide him with any information that he is. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.